From the studios of Extreme Sports in Hastings, Nebraska, we present Huddle Up, a great way to start your day with all the news, weather, and sports you need, interesting interviews, and friendly conversation from two guys that go together like Scooby and Shaggy, Mike Will and Tyson Havronic.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to another work week. It's a Monday, the 10th day of March for 2025. Mike Will and Tyson Havronic ready to start your day the right way with all of your news, weather, and sports. A little friendly conversation this morning was to get you up and get you out the door for this new work week. A lot to talk about in the sports scene here today. The Big Ten women's basketball tournament wrapping up over the weekend with a championship by UCLA. A late season collapse will keep the Nebraska men's basketball team from playing in the Big Ten Conference tournament this week. The Nebraska baseball team and softball teams, they were in action over the weekend. We'll tell you how they did. The Hastings College softball team, they were down in Branson, Missouri for 4 games. We'll tell you how they did over the weekend. UNK basketball teams losing in the opening round of the MIAA tournament down in Kansas City on Friday. Omaha has punched their ticket for the big dance. And we've got some state championships in girls high school basketball crowned from Saturday night. The boys state tournament gets underway this week, and some big moves in the NFL over the weekend. We'll touch on that as well. So lots on the plate. We'll have some comments from Husker head coach Fred Hoiberg as well during this hour. So thanks for joining us on Extreme Sports and Huddle Up as we welcome in Tyson Havronic from the Western Studios here this morning. Good morning.
And a good morning to you, Mike, as we wake up and get going. It's game week here for Extreme Sports as we get set to get the softball season underway on the conference side of things. GPAC play getting underway this weekend, so looking forward to getting out on the diamond and getting our debut softball broadcast in. So we'll have a first here for Extreme Sports on the news front. We're getting set for a busy week as well. State of the City address going to be delivered tonight from Mayor Jay Beckby at the Hastings City Council meeting. So we'll get an update on what's going on with the city here as far as goals are concerned for 2025. And a wild story coming to us out from the Nebraska State Patrol just over in Dawson County. A homicide suspect from Denver was pulled over and arrested. And so Nebraska State Patrol currently working with the Denver, Colorado authorities on a big stop yesterday. And so we'll get some more details on that as that story continues to develop here this in the early portion of the week.
All right, so that's what's going on. Again, you can join us anytime. 402-834-1330 is our telephone number. 402-834-1330. Like to chime in, something sports related or not, feel free to pick up the phone, give us a call. Love to have you on here this morning. If you'd like to leave us a message on one of the social media sites, you can do that as well. Tyson monitoring those in his studios this morning. In fact, lots of people joining us already in the lobby. The schools, aren't they off? You told me that CCC is their spring break. I think the public schools, they have a break this week. I don't know about Adams Central
also with break this week. In fact, because spring break over at AC, Tim Stroman, head baseball coach, he's going to join us tomorrow at 7:30. He's got his alarm clock set, and he'll join us tomorrow at 7:30 to talk all things Patriot baseball and share some stories from the Diamond as we get set for another baseball season. He's got a very, very positive outlook for his Patriots here for 2025.
Yeah, we mentioned softball this weekend. We'll have Hastings College softball for you on Friday and Saturday as they begin their conference season. Hastings College baseball team also scheduled to open up their conference season this weekend. We'll have games on the air with the Broncos and Waldorf coming up this weekend. And, of course, on Friday nights, we've got college college basketball, as Hastings College will be hosting the first round of the NAIA National Tournament. The Broncos opening up with the College of the Ozarks on Friday afternoon at 5. We'll have that game for you as well here on Extreme Sports. Plus, we'll have the other game as well. Huntington of Indiana is playing LSU Shreveport in the 7 o'clock game. So we'll have both of those games for you on the air on Friday, and then we'll have the championship on Saturday at 5, and hopefully the Broncos are in the championship game, make things a lot easier on Saturday, but we'll have the championship game regardless on Saturday as well. So 3 games from the first 2 rounds of the NAIA National Tournament coming up this weekend, hosted by Hastings College on Friday and Saturday. We'll have all those games as well. So, yeah, it's going to be a busy week here as we kind of finish off the winter sports season and get cranked up for the spring sports season. Going to be a busy week as we kind of overlap things here this week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and busy week, and then we got a whole bunch of off-season news and notes to talk about. The wide receiver class, because I told you last week, man, the wide receiver class is crazy. We saw some big names and some big names going to some big places. You look at what Devontae Adams, he signs with the LA Rams, and the big news yesterday, DK Metcalf heading over to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Raiders picking up Geno over the weekend. And so, yeah, some big names getting shuffled around a little bit. So the NFL season is going to kind of take a little bit of a different look here in 2026. So,
one other thing we might bring up is Josh Allen, your man, Josh Allen. He signed a contract extension with the Bills, 6 years, $330 million for Josh Allen in Buffalo.
Good payday.
Now, I just got off and did some research here this morning. Mm-hmm. Josh Allen signing that contract, it's going to pay him $55 million per year. Mm-hmm. It's a 6-year contract worth $330 million. It's going to pay him $55 million per year. Per month, he's going to make $4.583 million. Per week, Josh Allen's new contract will pay him $1 million, just over $1 million per week. Mm-hmm. Per day, Josh Allen is going to make $150,000. Per minute, Josh Allen is going to make $104.65. And per second, Josh Allen's new contract will pay him $1.74.
Damn. That's pretty cool.
Yes, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. He's going to make more in 1 week.
Per week is, per week is like 1,000. No, $1 million.
Yeah. He'll make more in a week than I make in a lifetime.
$1,057,692. I've got it down to the penny. Per second, he's going to make $1.74.
Could you just hey, Josh?
Can you float me?
Give me just 1 week out of the year. Just funnel it to my account.
Well, per minute.
1 week, just be Tyson minute.
Per minute, $104.65.
That's not bad either.
Per day, he's going to make $150,684.93. Hell, I don't know if we make 93 cents here per day.
You suppose the taxes are on that?
God. Unbelievable. Anyway, that was some big news. Josh Allen signing a contract extension. He's going to be with the Bills for a while.
See, I'd make all that money, and then the government would take 99% of it for tax purposes.
Well, you need to find a better tax man.
I need to find a better tax man.
I guess Adams Central's only going to be off on Friday. They're not off all week, so what's Stroman doing? He's going to just make some time for us.
Made some time, I guess.
So Stroman, he's going to be with us tomorrow morning at 7:30 to talk Adams Central baseball. They'll have another weekend preparation. They will open their seasons next week, and we'll have a complete high school baseball coverage for you as well. We're kind of kicking back in we kind of reached a lull here at the end of the basketball season. Didn't have a lot of action in the girls' state basketball tournament last week.
A little bit of a drop-off, yeah.
Had a little bit of a drop-off. Didn't get a lot of area teams in there. But now we're gonna crank things up with the spring sports season, so that's good. We might as well get to it. Okay. Waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. Huddle up on Extreme Sports. Nebraska. The Nebraska men, a late season collapse. They're going to be out of the Big Ten Conference basketball tournament. Huskers losing yesterday on Senior Day in Lincoln, 83-68 to the Iowa Hawkeyes. They end the regular season 5 straight losses. Mm-hmm. And that puts the Hawkeyes in, the Huskers out for the Big Ten tournament this week. That gets underway on Wednesday in Indianapolis. Now, let's see, we're sitting at 17-14 on the season.
No conference tournament.
7-13 in the conference. We await to see if its season continues with a postseason appearance somewhere.
I wouldn't give us an NIT bid. I wouldn't.
Not even an NIT?
You can't even make your conference tournament.
However, just before I came on this morning, just minutes ago, I did see a bracketology report. Last 4 teams in, as of now: Ohio State, Arkansas, Boise State, and Nebraska.
No, we're not in.
Last team in.
We don't have it. Like,
we've got some quad 1 wins, but we end the season with 5 straight losses and we don't make the conference tournament. How in the hell are we gonna?
No.
How are we gonna argue to get into the big dance?
That would be criminal to say that a 68-team field include. I mean, listen, I'm a Nebraska fan through and through. I'm wearing my big red today, but you can't go and grind your gears and in the middle of the season lose 6 straight games and then come back to pick up 2 only to lose 5 again and miss out on your conference tournament
and still get in.
And if any of those teams that played in the Big Ten Conference tournament get snubbed while Nebraska gets in just because of a couple top 25 wins, but our bad losses to those teams outweigh that top 25 schedule, in my opinion. Those quality wins, in my opinion.
I double-checked to make sure that bracket was up to date with today's date on it. It was. So they had Nebraska, the last team in. The first 4 teams out. So we're putting Nebraska in, and these 4 teams.
Who's the source of this?
I think this is an ESPN one.
CBS or ESPN? Okay, ESPN.
The first 4 teams out. So you're putting Nebraska in, and these 4 teams would be out.
Okay.
Oklahoma.
No.
Xavier.
No.
North Carolina.
Absolutely not.
And Texas.
North Carolina's had a miserable year. So is Texas, by all accounts. You can't put a Nebraska team over any of those 4 teams you mentioned.
The first 4 teams out, that's what they had listed.
But those first 4 teams also could go on and run in their conference tournament.
They could.
And in one day, we could be completely different.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So that's where we stand right now. Obviously, the NIT is a possibility for the Huskers. Do we play in that thing? I'm sure we will.
You could.
I'm sure we will.
You're not going to turn down an invitation to the NIT.
No.
But, I mean, no, it is.
We could be one of the top seeds in the NIT.
It's a gut-wrenching, miserable way to go out and end your regular season because you had everything in front of you to play for, and you knew the stakes.
And we talked about it at length on this show just a couple of weeks ago.
Yep.
Yeah, we were talking 8, 9, 10 seed.
Yep.
In the tournament.
Everything was in front of you.
And now we lose 5 straight games, and we don't even make the conference tournament.
No. It's
and the Boo Birds are out on social media sites.
Oh, let them.
Yeah, Fred Hoiberg should be fired.
Who's going to do a better job?
Who in the hell wants the job?
Who do you bring in here to do a better job than Fred?
Yeah.
Nobody.
No.
There's not a better coach suited for it. He didn't have a whole lot to work with. Bryce Williams was a phenomenal talent. He can't do it by himself. And a couple of the other guys
basically had 2 scorers on this whole team.
You had 2 scorers on the whole team. You had a couple bigs, but man, those bigs got into foul trouble, and that was kind of one of their bugaboos down the stretch, and putting teams at the line and getting into foul territory where you had to come out. And then when you go to our bench, I mean, we got some sparks at times from our bench production. I think his best lineup was when he completely shuffled it, and it was like the bench players had started because that we were getting such good production, but they couldn't do it forever. It's a tough way to go down. And there's no way in hell we're making the NCAA basketball tournament. We could be the first 4 in. It would take a disaster from about 12 teams in their respective conference tournaments that are going to get underway this week to keep Nebraska in.
Well, as of 7:15 this morning, it's still listed.
We'll see at 7:15 on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
What will the pundits say?
Yeah. Anyway, that's what's going on there, and the NIT is probably where we're heading. And there's another one besides the NIT now.
Oh, there's
there's another one.
I think there's 2.
Yeah, we're not playing in that one.
2 32-team fields.
We're not playing in that one.
We could.
We
don't even know what it's called.
Yeah, we'll be in the NIT. And like I said, we could be one of the top seeds in the NIT. Not in tournament, is that what that stands for?
Yeah, exactly. Participation ribbons.
I don't get too excited about the NIT.
Nope.
We'll mention it probably on this show, but that's about it.
It gives us something to talk about.
Yeah, it gives us another couple of weeks anyway, NIT. So anyway, we got a lot to talk about here today. We'd like you to chime in as well. Lots of people in the lobby here this morning. So drop us a message on one of the social media sites as we join you at the breakfast table here this morning. Or better yet, give us a call at 402-834-1330. Made it up to Fauner on Friday.
How'd that go for you?
It went well. Well, I wouldn't say well. I kept my head above water for a long time.
You didn't make Josh Allen money.
No, absolutely not. But some of Jim's picks that he gave us on Friday came in.
Nice.
Cashed in on a couple of them.
The Ferrari girl or whatever.
Oh, that thing was a hot one. What was that? Ferrari? I forgot what that name was. But he gave us that in the 4th race.
Yep.
That thing got out and goodbye.
And that gave you a little floating Fauner money?
It was like a 10-1 morning line.
By the time the race started?
I think what everybody was doing is they were listening to our show on Friday. And
the lobby was super full, by the way.
Yeah, and you should have saw the podcast replays from Friday. All getting Jim's picks, and hell, by the time it was a post time, that thing was one of the favorites. So I had to load up and was just hoping that it came in and won, and it did. So it paid me a little. But, yeah, it was a 10-1 or 12-1 morning line favorite in the 4th race. And then Jim put it out there on this show on Friday. And, hell, it was one of the favorites by post time. Yeah, unbelievable. I just shook my head.
Fixing the odds at Fauner.
Well, yeah, we're
every morning on Huddle Up.
Yeah, we're floating the board. Floating the board with our picks. So.
Oh, I thought we had great attendance on Friday on the live lobby, which is not always because of the start time of the show. Not always the case, but I mean, we had a full. I mean, from every different nook and cranny and stream that we're on. I mean, YouTube was full, and YouTube was chiming in on comments, and Twitch had a couple that were joining. So I mean, we were all over the board, and mostly it was. As soon as 7:30 wrapped up, as soon as we wrapped up with Jim, we saw a couple people say, all right, well, we got our segment in and took our notes, and we're heading up to Fauner this weekend.
Yeah.
So, but they really enjoyed that, and so we really appreciate Jim joining us each and every Friday morning. What about the Husker women? I was very impressed with their performance against UCLA. We fell short, but damn, did we fight. And if you're not a believer in the next 3 years for Britt Prince, I don't know what you're watching. She turned the corner after that injury against Illinois. When she came back and she bounced back with a flurry offensively. She is a special talent, and we're going to enjoy the hell out of her here for the next couple of years for the Nebraska women's basketball team. She was phenomenal in her work, not only from the outside, but passing the ball as well, really creating some scoring opportunities for this women's team. Hell, we were in that matchup against second best team in the country, in my opinion, in women's basketball in UCLA. Might even be the best. I would probably pencil them in as a potential national champion. And the way that then they took down Ohio State the game right after, and it was like, man, we could have been a semifinal team. We played that well. So I was really impressed with how the women played this weekend, albeit not being able to get that upset victory over UCLA, but man, they made me proud.
UCLA went on to win the championship over USC, 72-67. So the women's NCAA tournament bracket will be announced. I think it's tonight coming up. So we got a big week this week. Amber's chiming in. Yeah. We've got an eclipse this week.
Oh, yeah?
And we've got what the hell is a bomb cyclone?
It's one of those weird rain, wind, snow mixed things. I experienced one in Broken Bow. It's probably the worst time of my life. It ended up leading to the big flood. So who knows?
We got one of those, and then daylight savings times, of course.
I haven't chimed in on this. I gotta investigate more on this bomb cyclone. Are we getting one on the 13th? When?
I don't think we got a Friday the 13th this week, do we? And Friday the 14th?
No, the 13th is a Thursday.
Yeah, so, that's not right. We don't have a Friday the 13th. We got...
Oh, this week.
We got a eclipse and a bomb cyclone, and daylight savings time is... how was your clock change?
It's still weird. Like, it isn't really... The one that really gets me is the fall. That's the one where I have, like, the most trouble mentally adjusting to.
I had a tough time falling asleep last night just because...
Samesies.
Yeah, and I got to bed and I tossed and turned because I went to the bed at my usual time.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's still light out.
It kind of is. You're just going to bed an hour earlier than you normally do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
the same way.
Yeah, I couldn't get to sleep last night.
I did like a 3.5 hour movie, and I know that I had trouble falling asleep because I actually stayed up for the movie. Like, I put it on specifically to, like, help me fall asleep.
Made it all the way to the end?
And I made it all the way to the end of this 3.5 hour marathon.
That's not a good sign. That's not a good sign. All right, you're waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. This is a Huddle Up on Extreme Sports. It's 7:22.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
Our news update this morning takes us out to the City Council chambers, where coming up later, Mayor Jay Beckby is set to deliver his first State of the City address tonight at the Hastings City Council meeting. The address plans to include the financial condition of the city, challenges from 2024, and goals for 2025. Mayor Beckby said he hopes the State of the City will help improve transparency with the public. Meanwhile, just up north in Grand Island, the Grand Island Fire Department was called to an apartment fire at West Koenig Street this weekend. The building is a total loss. There were 4 apartments inside the building, and one individual who initially suffered smoke inhalation was airlifted to Omaha due to complications. Meanwhile, the Nebraska State Patrol located the suspect of a Denver homicide and found a passenger suffering a medical emergency this weekend in Dawson County. The suspect was considered armed and dangerous. Nebraska State Patrol was informed in the morning that a person wanted in connection with the homicide in Denver was thought to be traveling through Nebraska. After making contact, numerous attempts to pull the vehicle over, the trooper observed a female passenger having what appeared to be a medical emergency. Troopers and deputies acted quickly and approached the vehicle and removed both the driver and passenger, who were non-responsive. Narcan was then administered to both the driver and passenger. The female passenger transported to Gothenburg Health Hospital, where she was later pronounced deceased. The male driver, identified as 36-year-old Augustin Vega of Colorado Springs, was flown to Good Samaritan Hospital in Kearney, where he remains at this time. No law enforcement officers discharged their weapons during the incident. Officers located the firearm inside the vehicle. Nebraska State Patrol now coordinating with the Denver Police Department on the ongoing homicide investigation. It is now coming up on 7:25. We'll head back over to the East Side Studios. Mike, what's the haps in sports?
Well, UCLA won the Big Ten Conference Women's Basketball Tournament over the weekend. The Bruins beat USC in the championship game, 72-67 in Indianapolis. The men's tournament gets underway this Wednesday. The top four seeds are Michigan State, Maryland, Michigan, and UCLA. A late season collapse will keep the Nebraska men's basketball team from playing in the conference tournament. The Huskers dropped an 83-68 decision to Iowa yesterday that closed the regular season with 5 straight losses. Jawan Gary scored a game-high 25 points for the Huskers, but Nebraska hit only 35% of their field goals in the game. Nebraska ends the regular season 17-14, 7-13 in the conference, and now wait to see if its season continues with a postseason appearance. The Nebraska baseball team salvaged the game against Washington yesterday to avoid a 3-game sweep, winning 6-2. Nebraska lost a doubleheader on Saturday, 11-5 and 6-3. Huskers are now 5-8 on the season, 1-2 in the conference, and will host Wichita State on Wednesday. First pitch will be at 6. The Nebraska softball team went 4-0 in the Big Red Spring Fling over the weekend. The Huskers beat Northern Iowa 14-1 and Northern Colorado 12-4 on Saturday, before knocking off Northern Iowa 9-1 and South Dakota State 5-4 on Sunday. Nebraska now 19-6 on the season and will open the conference season with a 3-game series against Ohio State this weekend in Lincoln. Hastings College softball team, they went 1-3 in Branson, Missouri over the weekend. The Broncos lost to Evangel 3-0 and to Our Lady of the Lake 5-0 on Friday, before coming back on Saturday and losing to William Baptist 11-3 and beating Mission of Missouri 10-1. Broncos now 10-8 on the season and will open the conference season this weekend with games against Northwestern and Briar Clough. The UNK basketball teams were beaten in the first round of the MIAA tournament on Friday down in Kansas City. The women lost to Washburn 78-65, while the men dropped a 96-63 decision to Pittsburgh State. Omaha has won the Summit League Tournament Championship. The Mavericks beat St. Thomas of Minnesota 85-75 in the championship game. The Mavericks will play in the NCAA tournament for the first time since transitioning to Division I play in 2011. Omaha's 22 victories are the most since the move up to D1. Millard West, Omaha Scott, Lincoln Christian, Oakland Craig, Pender, and Falls City Sacred Heart won Girls State High School basketball championships over the weekend. The boys state tournament will get underway on Wednesday. Fillmore Central, Donovan Trumbull, Exeter Milligan Friend, that is, and Silver Lake will all be competing in this week's tournament. That's a check in your sports headlines, 7:27 now on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
Warm weather continues as we start off the work and school week. However, we'll deal with more wind and increased fire danger. Hey everybody, Tim Jones, Nebraska Weather TV. 78's the high today. We'll see winds out of the west-southwest gusting up to 30 miles per hour. Overnight tonight, mostly clear skies, a low of 36. 59 on Tuesday, 35s overnight Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. 69 on Wednesday, and we'll keep 70s going the rest of the week. Chances for rain by the time we get to Friday and Saturday as well.
Right now, as you wake up, get going this morning, we've got west winds at 10. We've got clear skies, and it's 42 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
Accessible and affordable holistic care is just around the corner at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, located at 208 South Burlington, Suite 101 in Hastings. Experience soothing massages, rejuvenating scalp treatments, and advanced Glow 2 facials, along with ozone therapy and frequency healing. Join us for our spring open house on March 29th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Enjoy free tours, 20% off all bookings, exciting giveaways, and a chance to win a $100 gift card for the first 30 product purchases. Become a member for 24-hour access to amenities like the infrared sauna, hydro massage, and cryo lounge, plus discounts on services and products. Visit us on Facebook to learn more. Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center. Truly holistic care designed for you.
Connet Auto Care is the trusted name in automotive repair and maintenance services in Hastings. We're a gold-certified Napa Auto Care Center. Our ASE-certified technicians have the Blue Seal of Excellence, receive continuous training, and are committed to providing the best service your vehicle can get. Whether it's preventative maintenance, major repairs, or just an oil change, Connet Auto Care is here for you.
Hamilton has been providing IT solutions for businesses across the state of Nebraska for more than 3 decades. We know that Nebraska businesses are a driving force of support for the communities in which we live and work. We keep them connected and protected by delivering cybersecurity, hosted phones, and managed IT. We are grateful to be part of our Nebraska communities and to support their technology needs.
More information at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Get ready, race fans. Cam Raceway is teaming up with Extreme Sports for an electrifying season of high-speed, dirt-slinging, adrenaline-pumping action. Every race night, we're bringing you live video coverage straight from the track, so you won't miss a single lap, pass, or photo finish. From non-wing warriors to cage karts, flat karts, and the A-class wing beasts, we've got it all. There's nothing like the roar of the engines, the smell of burning rubber, and the rush of dirt flying action right in front of you. So get to the track and experience it live. But if you can't make it, don't sweat. Extreme Sports has you covered. Buckle up, because this season is going to be fast, fierce, and unforgettable. Make sure you like and follow Extreme Sports on Facebook to get all the latest updates, and we will see you at the track.
All right, Mike Will and Science Center Bronick. It's Huddle Up on Extreme Sports for a Monday, the 10th day of March. Again, 402-834-1330 is the telephone number if you'd like to chime in with us, talk with us here on the show. 402-834-1330. If you'd like to leave us a message, that'd be great too. Lots of people doing that, dropping messages on our social media sites as we monitor those as we get you through this morning, Monday.
Yeah.
Brand new work week.
And a couple of those comments got me doing some research on the bomb cyclone. Pulled that up. There's some chatter. There's some chatter about 8 different states could potentially be affected by this as it's moving across, and we'll see. Obviously, the models are still pretty early in terms of exactly what areas will be specifically and most impacted, but we could definitely see some wacky weather come this Friday. So we'll stay up to date and try to bring you the latest on that.
Well, what is it? What is a bomb cyclone?
It's literally it's like a hurricane in the middle of the United States.
So just a whole bunch of wacky weather.
Yep.
All thrown together. I see we're going to have like thunderstorms, maybe some strong thunderstorms to our east, and maybe some snow to our west, and that's probably where all this is coming from. Then, huh?
It's exactly where it's coming from. We had, when I was in Bow like 5 years ago, there was the first time that we ever were introduced to the name of bomb cyclone, dropped about 3 feet of snow in the span of less than 45 minutes. I mean, it dumped.
Really?
And my car got buried on the way to work, and I had to like just leave her stranded in the middle of the open road. Nobody was going to go out on the roads at that time, so I hoofed it over to work, and then about 2 hours later, it rained. It melted all the snow, and all that rain then washed eastwards, and we know the outcome of that, the 2019 floods. That was the catalyst. The bomb cyclone was the precursor to the flooding that Nebraska had. So yeah, it brings a high winds and just about anything and everything I think there was thunderstorms in Hastings, and meanwhile over in Bow we were doused in 3 feet of snow. It was wild, and it's one of those things where it's very unpredictable, exactly what kind of weather you're going to get. So just be ready for just about anything and everything. So we'll continue to keep our ears and eyes on that baby. Chief Indorf, he's firing in on some of the sports comments over the weekend. Duke with the big W in Chapel Hill in the North Carolina-Duke rivalry. Steelers fan is Chief Indorf, so he likes the DK Metcalf trade. Doesn't have a quarterback to throw in the ball yet. Not an Iowa fan, but was impressed with the sportsmanship towards Iowa when Juwan Gary fouled out. He went down the line and received some hugs and handshakes from the Iowa players. So, yeah, that's Chief Indorf firing in on the sports front. Amber's keeping us posted on being prepared for some wacky weather, and that's what we do here. Just a little bit of anything and everything.
We'll keep our eyes on that. Is that supposed to happen like Friday?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll keep our eyes on that, and if we hear anything more, we'll get Tim on. Yeah. We'll get Tim Jones on. He'll talk about that. So anyway,
Bomb Cyclone 101.
Yeah, down at the end of the week. There's a lot to go till we get to Friday. Wisconsin's women's basketball coach Marissa Mosley has stepped down. She was 47 and 75, 4 seasons with the program. Been struggling to compete in the Big Ten for over a decade now. The Badgers are. Wisconsin went 13 and 16 this year. Lost 81-54 to Iowa in the first round of the Big Ten tournament on Wednesday. She's had enough. Marissa Mosley stepping down as the head coach of the Wisconsin women's basketball team.
Muggle_13 joining us on Twitch. I don't know who Muggle_13 is. I don't know Twitch usernames quite yet. Haven't got that familiarized with my audience, but Muggle13 saying, giving us a good morning here on this Monday as we get up and get going. New Twitch listener.
Maybe a new body.
New subscriber.
NASCAR over the weekend. They raced in Phoenix. Better throw this in for our NASCAR fans. Christopher Bell, he wins for the 3rd straight race.
He's won 3 in a row?
Yeah, he's won 3 in a row.
That's pretty good.
Denny Hamlin, his teammate, was 2nd yesterday.
Okay.
That'll piss him off.
Should make for an interesting podcast this week.
Yeah. He likes Christopher Bell as a teammate, but he hates losing to him. And now he finished a close 2nd yesterday. Yeah, that'll piss him off.
So is Hamlin racing for his own team now?
No, he's still running for Joe Gibbs.
Really?
Yeah. He has his own team.
Yep.
But he still races for Joe Gibbs.
That's wild.
For now.
Kyle
Larson was 3rd yesterday. Josh Berry 4th. Chris Buescher was 5th. Now they go to Vegas.
So 3 straight wins for Bell.
Yep.
And so there would be like no other automatic qualifiers over the course of the last 3 races, right? Like Bell's in the playoffs and just Bell.
There's nobody else to run against him. So if he wins the entire the schedule, he'll just run by himself.
There you go.
That's probably not going to happen.
Probably. No.
I'm waiting for Action's Detrimental podcast to drop today. Danny Hamlin's going to be pissed off. He's going to be pissed off that he lost again to Christopher Bell. Let's see what else is going on. Oh, let's get to Freddie Boy, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
I got to find my notes.
While you find your notes.
Here it is.
Speaking of racing, Formula One, by the way, gets underway this week. They start their season.
Why? Are you on that, too?
I like Formula One racing. Yeah,
you do?
Good stuff. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's down my list.
They're going in Australia.
I'll watch NASCAR, and I'll watch a little bit of Indy.
Mm-hmm.
F1 is down the pecking order for my racing enjoyment. Nebraska losing yesterday to the Iowa Hawkeyes keeps them out of the Big Ten Conference tournament. 5 straight losses to end the season. Freddie Boy before the news media following the game, and obviously it was a tough loss for the Huskers.
I said this in the locker room to the guys. It's been one of the most enjoyable teams I've ever been around, especially a team that's just been kicked in the gut time and time again, and to continue to come back in and work. And some things happen to our group that haven't happened in my 30 years of being around this game and 30 plus years. And, the 1 point losses, or 1 possession losses, some of the things that we had to fight through. And, they just kept coming back. And, this is a tough game. This is an emotional game. I think you see it before, and you got to try to do everything you can to put it behind you. And I know it's easier said than done. I talked about my senior day experience. It was one of the worst games of my career. And it happens, unfortunately. And, we just didn't have very much margin, where we could afford to have a game like this. And then sometimes in this business, it's make or miss. And, we had so many shots, I felt, that went in and out, or, shots around the rim that we just didn't convert. And, it's a crusher. It kills me, to know that, we're not going to be able to go to Indy and extend this thing from that standpoint. That being said, I think we will play in the postseason. And, we got to regroup. And, we get to continue on with our journey. And that's important. I'm excited to continue to be around this group. And, hopefully go out there and play well in whatever tournament we're in.
On the bright side, the coach did say yesterday they got off to a great start in this ball game against the Hawkeyes.
Well, yeah, I thought the urgency out of the gate. I mean, we built, an 8-point lead right away. I thought, we were out there, we were flying around, we hit some shots. And, when the ball stopped falling, sometimes again, I mean, if the ball's not going to the hoop, when shots fall, I'm a lot better coach, and things are a lot prettier when it's going in, when your offense is clicking like it was last game against Ohio State. So, once the ball stopped falling, is it effort, or is it just the ball wasn't going in tonight? So, again, give Iowa credit. They did a good job mixing defenses, and when the team goes zone, you got to make some shots. I thought we missed some good looks, and again some bunnies around the rim. But again, that happens in this game.
And the coach said Iowa did a good job of defending Bryce Williams.
I didn't think we did a good enough job getting to the pocket. We got in the pocket early. We hit a couple threes off it. And, when they blitz Bryce, you got to make him pay by playing numbers 4-on-3. And you got to hit some shots, when you have those opportunities. And, that's one thing, yes, looking back on the opportunity to get the ball in the pocket, I didn't think we did a good enough job of that.
And the coach says the Huskers did not do a good job protecting home court throughout the season.
I think last year we were 10-0, and this year we lose 5 home games, and that's hard when you lose them. Some different circumstances on those different one possession losses, but in this league, man, you got to find a way to protect your home court. And we did not do a good enough job of that this year, especially with the support that we get. And we're going to be back next year and hopefully do a better job. We had some great wins this year, but too many one possession, where you got to find a way to, whatever it takes. You got guys that hadn't made threes all year that, frickin' step up and make a three. But at the end of the day, it's not good enough. We got to be better protecting this home court. And, again, replacing some of these guys, got to get a group in here that's got toughness, and we got to improve our shooting. I mean, that's one thing, when you look at it, I think we made 100 less threes, this year. So, we'll go to work when the time presents itself. And it's going to be an important offseason for us.
As Fred Hoiberg, following the Huskers' loss to the Iowa Hawkeyes yesterday, and Nebraska finishes the regular season 17-14, 7-13 in the conference. They miss out of qualifying for their own conference tournament. Only 4 teams, the Big Ten, did not make the conference tournament. Nebraska will be one of them. So they'll be on the sidelines for a while, and hopefully we'll have a chance to continue this journey, so to speak, in a postseason tournament coming up.
Mavericks made their way into the NCAA basketball tournament. University of Nebraska Omaha.
They'll play.
They'll be there.
Creighton will be there.
Like I think we got to take a good hard look. I mean, from the booster standpoint, we got to spend some money. You want to go out there and you want to compete and you want to instantly flip this program around. Let's hit the transfer portal hard. Let's provide some really palatable NIL packages to some of these athletes that are going to be hitting the transfer portal here in the offseason that aren't getting maybe the playing time at a Duke or a Gonzaga or some of these big time blue blood basketball schools, and let's dive in and let's commit. And unless we commit to some really lucrative NIL deals, we're gonna be steady and have to deal with what we got. I think that this program is certainly poised to be one that can instantaneously flip. The atmosphere certainly is there at Pinnacle Bank Arena. The competition is there within the Big Ten Conference. Let's go out and get some of these former blue chip high school athletes, and let's just see.
Wow, what a roller coaster of a season, though. Even
they took us on a ride
between you and I on this show. Yeah. One week we're talking about. I remember you were all pissed off early in the season that we weren't ranked.
Yep.
And you went off on a little tangent for like 2 weeks
until we went on a 6-game losing streak.
Yeah, and then you shut up, and then all of a sudden
we got better.
All of a sudden, you say we're bad and we don't deserve to be ranked and don't deserve to be in the big dance, and then we go on a 6-game winning streak, and
then we were back.
Yeah, we're back, and now we're at a number 8 seed and a number 10 seed, and we're going to win the Big Ten Conference postseason tournament.
And then we close on a 5-game losing streak.
Then we go on a 5-game losing streak and
miss out on the conference tournament, which I did not think was possible.
No, I didn't either. I didn't even think that was a possibility.
Even with a loss, I thought that enough cards would have played in our favor.
Yeah, when I flipped it on yesterday, and they were talking about the winner goes to the Big Ten tournament and the loser has been eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at that again and I read it. I says, "Is that right? Is that right that we're going to fall all the way out of the tournament with a loss?" I didn't think that was possible. There's a bunch of teams tied down there. Obviously, we lost all the tiebreakers, so we're out. And now we're on the sidelines. By the way, the transfer portal for college basketball opens on the 24th, March 24th.
Okay.
So in addition to trying to prepare maybe for a postseason tournament game, the Huskers will have to deal with the transfer portal. We're going to have a bunch. We need a bunch of players.
We got to make some calls. We
got like 6 or 7 guys that are going to be off of the team next year.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're going to have a bunch of holes to fill, and, we better be making some calls now.
You need consultants and consultants to the consultants, and every single one of those people on your staff needs to be hitting those cell phones hard, hitting those social media posts hard, talking about and sending the house on what Nebraska has to offer and what we could build and what we could build next year. Flip it instantaneously. The transfer portal gives you the ability to do that. We've seen it happen in football. Hell, we saw it with Indiana this past year and how quickly they flipped that program around. You can do it with 5 guys in hoops too. Get 5 guys, get your friends, bring them to Nebraska, see what you can do.
Yeah, but when you get on the phone with the head coach at Nebraska and he's encouraging you to come here, and hell, we didn't even make our conference tournament.
NIL deals, man, they're going to speak higher than where your program is currently at.
We better ante up then.
Ante up.
Maybe we can get Josh Allen to donate some of his money to our
Nebraska Basketball Week.
Nebraska Basketball Week.
Here's $1 million from my week.
$1.74.
Jim's chiming in with some results over the weekend.
I saw that.
General Shipman with his victory Saturday in the Ogatal Stakes. We had predicted that. Cruising through the Ogatal Stakes. And the 2024 Eclipse Horse of the Year, Torpedo Anna, returning to racing in 2025 with a convincing victory in the Azaria Stakes over at Oaklawn Park. So keeping you up to date on all things horse racing. We had General Shipman on this show. We had him circled in and handicapped, and he cruises in the Ogatal.
God, Jim made some people some money then.
He had a good weekend.
That Ferrari horse.
Was it Ferrari?
Oh, that thing was out of the gates and goodbye.
Lives by its name, honestly, huh?
What Jim shouldn't have done is dropped it on this show, though, on Friday to drive the odds down to about even money.
Hell, it's the first credible couple picks we've had on this show in about a year.
Yeah, we went all the way through the football season. We even brought in a roller, we thought, when we got Stroman to do some guest picks for us. And
Turns out it's not that easy.
No, he petered out.
Turns out it's not that easy.
Yeah, he petered out. He got off to a hot start, and then we got him out. Yeah, it's not easy, but boy, Jimmy's been hot here this week.
Speaking of picks, you can get into our lobby. We do not have brackets obviously posted yet, but come Selection Sunday, make sure and join our lobby on the ESPN Fantasy Leagues for our bracket busting bullseye gift card winning bracket challenge that we have. We were called out rather harshly last week on the show, so we opened up a NCAA tournament challenge. You're going up against me and Mikey, and the top three placers get bullseye gift cards. So
yeah, we'll buy you lunch.
Yeah, we'll buy you lunch or a few drinks for happy hour. Make sure you hop in and get in on the lobby and go head to head with us. You
can sign up anytime. You can sign up right now if you'd like, just to get your name placed in the bracket and come back when the brackets are out after Selection Sunday. But you can go ahead and sign up anytime. And reminder, one bracket of integrity. Yeah, we don't want like 100 brackets per person. We know that ESPN allows you, I think, up to 5, and you can throw your 5 in any number of groups, but we just want one. We want one bracket of integrity per user. We'll be monitoring that. Like I said, you can sign up anytime, get those into us so we kind of know who we're going to be facing. And here's the fun part. It's absolutely free. Yeah, we love free stuff. My third favorite F word. It's absolutely free. I can just imagine the rest of them. 7:50, waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
Our morning news update takes us out to the City Council chambers. We're coming up later today. Mayor Jay Beckby set to deliver his first State of the City address at the Hastings City Council meeting. The address planning to include financial condition of the city, challenges from 2024 and goals for 2025. Mayor Beckby said he hopes the State of the City helps improve transparency with the public. We will have that State of the City address coming up tomorrow in full here on the show. The Grand Island Fire Department was called to an apartment fire on West Koenig Street this weekend. The building, a total loss. There were 4 apartments inside the building. One individual who suffered smoke inhalation was airlifted to Omaha due to complications. And a busy weekend for the Nebraska State Patrol after they located a suspect of a Denver homicide and found a passenger suffering from a medical emergency in Dawson County. The suspect was considered armed and dangerous, as Nebraska State Patrol was alerted to the fact that a person wanted in connection with a homicide in Denver may have been traveling through Nebraska. Once contact was made, troopers observed a female passenger having what appeared to be a medical emergency. Troopers and deputies quickly approaching the vehicle and removing both the driver and passenger. Both were found non-responsive. Narcan administered to both the driver and passenger. The female passenger later transported to a Gothenburg hospital where she was pronounced deceased. The male driver, identified as 36-year-old Augustine Vega of Colorado Springs, was flown to Good Samaritan Hospital in Kearney, where he remains at this time. Nebraska State Patrol currently coordinating with the Denver Police Department on the ongoing homicide investigation. It is now coming up on 7:53. We'll head back your way to the East Side Studios. Mike, what's the latest in sports?
Well, Millard West, Omaha Scott, Lincoln Christian, Oakland Craig, Pender, and Fall City Sacred Heart won Girls State High School basketball championships over the weekend. The boys state tournament gets underway this week on Wednesday. Fillmore Central, Donovan Trumbull, Exeter Milligan Friends, Silver Lake, just some of the teams competing on the boys side of things. Omaha has won the Summit League basketball championship. The Mavs beat St. Thomas of Minnesota 85-75 in the championship game. The Mavericks will play in the NCAA tournament for the first time since transitioning to Division I play in 2011. Omaha's 22 victories are the most since the move up to Division I status. UNK basketball teams were beaten in the first round of the MIAA tournament on Friday. The women lost to Washburn 78-65, while the men dropped a 96-63 decision to Pittsburgh State. UCLA won the Big Ten Conference women's basketball tournament over the weekend. The Bruins beat USC in the championship game 72-67 in Indianapolis. The men's tournament gets underway this Wednesday. The top 4 seeds are Michigan State, Maryland, Michigan, and UCLA. A late season collapse will keep the Nebraska men's basketball team from playing in that conference tournament. The Huskers dropped an 83-68 decision to Iowa yesterday to close the regular season with 5 straight losses. Juwan Gary scored a game-high 24 points for the Huskers, but Nebraska hit only 35% of their field goals in the game. Nebraska ends the regular season 17-14, 7-13 in the conference. It will now wait to see if its season continues with a postseason appearance. The Nebraska baseball team salvaged the game against Washington yesterday to avoid a 3-game sweep. Huskers are now 5-8 on the year. They're 1-2 in the conference. They will host Wichita State on Wednesday. The Nebraska softball team had a good weekend, 4-0 in the Big Red Spring Fling. The Huskers are now sitting at 19-6 on the season. They'll open up conference play this weekend with a 3-game series against Ohio State in Lincoln. That's a check on your sports headlines. 7:55 now on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
Warm weather continues as we start off the work and school week. However, we'll deal with more wind and increased fire danger. Hey everybody, Tim Jones, Nebraska Weather TV. 78's the high today. We'll see winds out of the west-southwest gusting up to 30 miles per hour. Overnight tonight, mostly clear skies, low of 36. 59 on Tuesday, 35's overnight Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. 69 on Wednesday, and we'll keep 70s going the rest of the week. Chances for rain by the time we get to Friday and Saturday as well.
Right now, we've got west winds at 10, clear skies 42 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
Accessible and affordable holistic care is just around the corner at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, located at 208 South Burlington, Suite 101 in Hastings. Experience soothing massages, rejuvenating scalp treatments, and advanced Glow 2 facials, along with ozone therapy and frequency healing. Join us for our spring open house on March 29th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Enjoy free tours, 20% off all bookings, exciting giveaways, and a chance to win a $100 gift card for the first 30 product purchases. Become a member for 24-hour access to amenities like the infrared sauna, hydro massage, and cryo lounge, plus discounts on services and products. Visit us on Facebook to learn more. Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center. Truly holistic care designed for you.
I'm John Butler, funeral director and owner at Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Hastings.
And I'm Nikki Butler, the advanced funeral planning specialist. Whether you choose a traditional service, cremation, or a unique memorial service, our experienced staff is here to help guide you through every step. Visit us at lbvfh.com to learn more about our services and how we can support you.
Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center. We are here when your need is greatest.
Extreme Sports has been bringing you the exclusive home of Hastings College Athletics, and we're just getting started. Thanks to our incredible sponsors and your support, Extreme Sports 2 has been a huge success. And now we're excited to announce the launch of Extreme Sports 3. With Extreme Sports 3, you'll get even more local sports coverage. Plus, 24/7 access to Sports by Line, where you'll hear the best in national sports talk. Whether it's Hastings College, high school action, or the latest from around the sports world, we've got it covered across all 3 streams. And don't forget, when we're not broadcasting games, join us weekday mornings from 7 to 8 a.m. for Huddle Up with Mike Will and Tyson Havronik. It's the perfect way to start your day with sports, news, weather, and great local interviews. So tune in, check out all 3 streams, and stay with us for even more sports coverage coming soon. Thank you to our sponsors for making it all possible, and to you, our listeners, for keeping Extreme Sports strong.
I'm Mike Will, Tyson Vronic with you on this Monday morning as we start another work week here together. This is the 10th day of March for 2025. Got a busy week for us. We've got Hastings College softball. We've got Hastings College baseball. We've got Hastings College women's basketball all coming up this week, in addition to some other things. Might get you a high school basketball game or two thrown into the mix, as well as the boys' state tournament is going on down in Lincoln beginning on Wednesday. So going to be a busy week. Hopefully the weather holds off. We're into the spring sports now, so you got to keep an eyes to the sky and the weather forecast for games outdoors. We got softball and baseball this weekend, hopefully on the air for Hastings College this weekend. So a busy week. We don't want that, what is that bomb thing?
The bomb cyclone can stay away.
Bomb cyclone?
Yeah, that can stay south.
I'm going to have to do some research on that.
There's a lot going on, but we'll keep our ears and eyes. So far, nothing really local, but Reed Timmer, you might know, the guy with the big tornado chasing machine.
Yeah.
He's got a bunch of posts about it, so.
It could happen.
There's a potential.
All right, so we'll keep our eyes on that. And again, if it's looks like a possibility, even a remote possibility, we'll get Timmy on the air. He'll be happy to talk about the
Bomb Cyclone 101.
Teach us, because I have no knowledge of what you're even talking about. I'm probably got a nap plan for me today. Daylight savings time's got me all screwed up.
A nap?
I told you earlier that I didn't get any sleep last night because I didn't feel like it was time to go to bed. But the clock says it's time to go to bed, and I tossed and I turned, and the dog kind of looked at me and said, "Would you get to sleep?"
What are you doing?
What are you doing? You keep tossing and turning and waking me up. The dog had no problem adjusting because I sleep with my dog.
There you go.
But yeah, maybe a nap in store after I get some stuff done.
Oh, not a whole lot on the tube tonight, but a 3 p.m. Make sure you set your alarm clock if you do take your nappy poo. We got a 3 p.m. matchup between Newcastle United and West Ham today.
Oh, that'll put me to sleep for sure.
This is wild, though. The Premier League is about halfway through.
Okay.
Position 4 on the table to position 10 are separated by less than 4 points. So there is very, very thin margins as these teams continue to navigate their way across the pond over in England in the best soccer league in the world with the world's best players. Phenomenal matchup going to be taking place today between the Hammers and the Gordies. So we'll be looking forward to that. That's got your, again, 3 p.m. kickoff time today. That's really about it on the sports tube. So a big match on across the pond. Obviously, some basketball tournaments going to be getting up and going here today. And
that's all you can come up with on the TV guide today?
I mean, we got spring training baseball on MLB Network. Cardinals are on at 5 if you want to watch practice.
This would be a great day for a nap. It would be a great day for a nap, but the weather is going to be too nice.
I'm gonna put on my Extreme Sports polo and head over to the council chambers for the first time.
The weather is going to be nice too.
Yeah, we're gonna dive into some city government chat.
I saw
tomorrow,
that.
So
you saw that.
Mayor Beckby is slated for later this week. We'll have him on in a one-on-one exclusive. So looking forward to that conversation.
So I hope he don't go long tonight on the speech. We're going to air the thing tomorrow. He'll take up our entire show.
Power of audio editing, my friend.
Yeah, don't let Jay go too long.
So, Jay, I got supper plans of Bullseye, so if you want to hit this in about 7, that'd be great.
Yeah, just get in and out.
Give us the Cliff Notes.
Yeah. We'll talk one-on-one later in the week to get down to the nitty-gritty.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, thanks for joining us today. If you'd like to listen to this show again, you can. Just go to our social media sites. There will be a podcast section there. Click on that. Click on today's date. You'll be able to listen to this show again, even if you're on the Roku TV app. And a lot of people are downloading the Roku TV app now. So if you got that, dial up. You can also listen to the podcast. There's a section you can listen to us on Roku TV as well. In addition to the cameras this morning.
There you go.
I didn't even see what you're wearing today.
Just a Husker shirt.
Just a Husker shirt?
Just a regular old T-shirt today.
All right.
Laundry day.
That's exciting. That's exciting. All right, thanks for joining us. We'll do it again tomorrow morning at 7 here on Extreme Sports. Have yourself a great day.
You've been listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports, Central Nebraska's new home for sports.